Michael.
Hey, Crystal.
Nice
Steve
to meet you.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for joining us here at the Lesson Zone.
Thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at your swing. Get you a few practice swings in to warm up.
All right.
And we spoke briefly earlier, and you said you don't have any physical issues.
Correct.
You're healthy body.
Yep.
Working on a nice little push draw. Nice.
So, Crystal, one of the things that I have to work on is try to get a little further out, a little more extension as I come back. As I've gotten older, I found I've gotten more narrow, and I kind of throw it.
Casting it a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Now you've got a nice extension. That sounded real solid, too. How'd it feel?
Yeah, much better, yeah.
I like it. I like the movement from the top, getting that lower body driving through before the club really starts to come down. I see a nice extension at the top with the arms, so that's looking really good.
Good.
So when you miss it, what kind of shots do you hit?
I don't want it to overdraw.
Okay.
That is the tendency a little bit, is if the ball falls a couple of feet or a yard or two left, fine, I can play for that. Any more than that, it's hunting trouble.
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to work.
All right.
Not to hit.
Okay. That one looked like you may have shortened your hip rotation going back a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that another tendency of yours?
It is,
okay.
yeah. And sometimes I will slide into the right hip rather than go ahead and rotate it back.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that last one just looked like you shortened up your hip rotation going back.
Okay.
Just a smidge. I can see what you're talking about a little bit with your tendency to kind of go here versus rotating into it. But it's not drastic for sure.
Okay.
What's your handicap?
3.
Okay, that's why it's not drastic.
Yeah.
It's going to be those little subtleties, right? Just a little bit off on your timing. Maybe your club face is slightly closed to what it normally is, giving you that a little bit too much of a draw. As you said, you do a push draw, so it's starting off to the right, coming back to the left, which means our club path is coming from the inside, which we like. Means your lower body's driving through first.
Right.
And then if the club face is just a little bit more closed than you want it at impact, that's going to give that extra spin and cause that overdraw, if you will, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So just be real conscientious of your setup, making sure that club face isn't too closed.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you're teaching someone who's either lost club head speed or who, for whatever reason never had it, they're always trying to gain a little more distance.
Absolutely.
So, what do you tell someone about, either
how to maintain it
or how not to lose it at a rapid pace?
Right. So fitness is obviously, a big component, right?
Yeah. We
got to maintain our ability to make the golf swing properly.
Sure.
So if we start getting tightness in our hip, we're going to start getting more lateral. We can't rotate into it.
Right.
You can't shift off the back foot. So I try to make sure that they're using their entire body with the golf swing and not trying to muscle the ball, which for gentlemen, I find the tendency is to try to typically muscle the ball versus the ladies. They know they don't have that upper body strength. Our strength is from here down.
Sure.
So I like to focus on getting the whole body rotating and feeling that shift without swaying or sliding.
Right, okay.
So that motion of really clearing the hips through before we make contact. What you're doing already, just from, you can tell that from your club path, and you're starting your downswing more lower body before you're making contact with the ball. So your mechanics look really sound.
Okay.
I'm seeing the sequence that I would want to see in somebody who's wanting to either work the ball and have the ability to play the ball right to left, left to right, and also maintain the distance.
Right.
So if you weren't getting off that back foot, or you weren't rotating and you were coming through with the upper body first, even if you were hitting a straight shot that you liked, I would say we got to get that lower body into your golf swing, and you've got that.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, looks really good.
Thank you.
Looks really good.
One other question is, I hear players and instructors a lot of times talk about covering the ball. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, so if you take your setup for me. All right, and now what I want you to do, don't swing through, but I want you to pretend you're showing me what your body wants to look like or should look like at impact. Okay, now, so covering is going to be a little bit more of I want to say like trapping the ball, so your hands are further ahead.
I see.
That
Okay,
motion
here.
right there.
All
Yeah.
right. So it would be more here.
Yeah, you're covering through it.
Okay.
So if you wanted to hit a knockdown,
okay.
right? That kind of motion where you keep the ball a little lower, you're taking loft off the face.
Right. Now, do you do that? You don't do that at address. You do that by.
Well, great question. So you're going to set it up a little differently. Your ball's going to be back in your stance slightly. You're going to have the hands further ahead at address because basically when you set up to the golf ball, that's the position you want your club face to be at impact.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
And then what we're doing through the swing is going to determine whether we go high, we go low. If it's steep, it's going to definitely pop up, that kind of thing. Or are we going to put rotation on it through the face?
Okay.
Okay? So that sounded just a hair heavy to me.
It was heavy and toey.
Okay.
So.
So let's try to get those hips rotating through like you were before. Back and through, giving that nice turn going back. There you go. Okay. I would take that all day.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right, let's hit one more.
Okay.
Nice. That sounded crisp, and I'm seeing a nice extension at the top. You're not collapsing or bringing it down. Looks really good.
Well, great. Thank you so much. This was great. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your tournament.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you.